Hello and welcome to another Royal Reviewer live weekly chat. I'm back after a week away because of family reasons. I hope you got my message, by the way, last week that I had cancelled the chat. It was for a very good personal reason. So I hope many of you didn't turn up and was expecting a chat and there wasn't one. I did try and announce it on Twitter and YouTube and all the different social medias that I've got. So I hope that you got the message. But anyway, I am back now and I hope you've all had a voluptuous 2 weeks and a really happy Halloween if you celebrate Halloween or if you mark Halloween. But I am back. Now let's go and find the chat window. So I can say hello to you all. I can see that the chat room is quite busy tonight and there's lots of people who have been speaking already. So actually, there's a lot for me to catch up on. In fact, I don't think I can possibly catch up with all that. So I'm going to start from the bottom of the chat window. So if you've said any questions or anything really important, please repeat it. Please ask me again. So let's do some of the hellos. I can see Freya in the chat room. I can see HW. I can see Jobot. I can see Will Dawson. I can see Steve. I can see Nina, Candice. Jamie's here, and Jen and David. First Mrs. R. Corrie Tapp is here, and Vinnie Blair. Hello to you all. We have some regulars and some new names that I don't recognise. Jamie says, hello, hello, hello. Lovely brooch, looks very real, so cool. Thank you so much. This is actually a brand new brooch. It's actually a vintage 1953 coronation brooch, and it's got a photograph of the Queen in it, and it's attached to a replica family order, which I'll talk to you about later. But if you just want to have a look, hopefully you can see what I'm wearing. Please let me know if you actually saw that. And I've got some more exciting things as well, because later on in the show, I will be opening a package. And all I've done is I've pre-opened one corner of the package, just so that I don't faff around with it. But I haven't looked. It's still completely sealed. So this was sent to my Royal Reviewer YouTube PO box address, and it's from one of our members of the chat room. But I will answer that. I will open it. Won't answer it. I'll open it later, and I'll also be showing you the reverse of this. So we've got some exciting things to talk about. Let me read some questions. First, Mrs. R says, welcome back. Freya says, hi, Elliot. HW says, good evening. So sorry for my loss. I hope you're doing okay. I am, thank you very much. Corrie says, or is that Corrie? Corrie. I thought it was Connie then. Corrie says, glad you're back. Vinny says, hi, everyone. Has the chat started? Yes, it has. We're here. Hello to Jen. Will says, who was I for Halloween? I wasn't. I didn't get a costume this year, and I did want to dress up for the live chat, but things happened and circumstances out of my control meant I just wasn't in the mood to kind of get costumes and things. So next year, I promise that the live chat around Halloween, I will dress up. Candice says, you have quite the following now. Thank you so much. Angel says, hi, Kate Middleton and Prince William. Good day. Well, if they're watching, I will send them your big hello. And Jen says, it's your birthday on Monday. Well, happy birthday for Monday from me and everyone in the Royal Reviewer family. First Mrs. R says, is this the one you wore a few weeks ago? No, it's not. I've got two. The other one, actually, I've only just got this one. I got it today in the post. This one is a much better quality than the other one. It's actually got a glass dome, and it's actually got little jewels, little rubies inside it. Not real rubies, rhinestone type rubies. But this is a much better quality one, and I'm wearing it very much like a family order. MSMB says, still waiting for me. Yes, refresh. If ever you have any technical troubles, please refresh. Angel says, how is Queen Elizabeth doing? She's doing really well. She's back to her usual royal duties, and we'll talk about some of those in a little bit. Vinny's having technical difficulties. You're not seeing me. Please refresh. Connie Tapp says, isn't Queen Elizabeth II family order on a chartreuse ribbon? Yours looks blue. I've got all different colours, and you will see over the coming weeks that I will be wearing all kinds of different coloured ribbons, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. Lady Buckingham, Dawn says, hi everyone, hope all are very well. Hello to you, Dawn, and we'll talk about you, Dawn, later. I'll get to you later, in a good way, of course. Will says, you was Freddie Mercury for Halloween. Kinala in Germany, I hope I've read your name correctly. Caroline says, hello, the reviews have been great. Nice to know how are the royals. Hello from Canada. Candice says, love my family order. It's my replica family order. MSNB says, I refreshed 5 times but didn't work. Working on your iPad though. Okay. James says, hello Elliot, thoughts on the 70th anniversary? Well, that is actually in my notes now. We didn't know much up until recently, but we do know now that the Queen is not going to have any public celebrations with the 70th anniversary. Her and Prince Philip and family are going to spend it privately at Windsor Castle. So we aren't probably going to see any photographs of what they're doing there. There won't be any big public celebrations, but you know, we could hope for maybe a special photograph issued, maybe even a set of stamps, you know, something of that kind of, something just like that to mark the occasion. A portrait, stamps, something commemorative officially, but no public celebrations. That will all be celebrated privately. Nina says, Camilla's poppy brooch is beautiful. Do you think it's rubies? They don't look dark enough, almost like pink diamonds. Well, in photographs, it's often quite hard to tell unless you're, you know, a gem expert or something. Usually with rubies, you can kind of tell because they have a very deep color. But with the poppy brooches, who knows, it could be kind of, you know, rhinestone type gemstones, or it could be the real deal. Sometimes it's very hard to tell. Maybe we have a gem expert in our midst. Please let us know your opinions on that. Freya said, I had the opportunity to meet Philip Hammond recently, and of course I had to ask what the Queen was like in person. What did he say? David says, do Prince Philip and the Queen live separate lives now? Do they live in different homes since his retirement from royal duties? Well, I actually have a video pending which I'm going to be posting after the live chat about that, but we can talk about it now too. So it's really recently been revealed, in fact today it was revealed, that Prince Philip has taken to using a cottage. Well, I say cottage, it's quite a big house really, on the Sandringham estate called Wood Farm, and it seems that he's been renovating it. It's been rumoured, well, sources have said that he's put in a new kitchen, possibly renovated it, and he's using it a little bit like, I suppose, a man cave. You know, this is how the royals do man caves. So instead of just like one room or a basement or an attic or a shed, he's got an entire large house on an estate. It's a house which the royals have previously used for other things, but it seems that he's using it a bit like his retirement man pad. He does painting there, writing, reading. He invites his friends around. So he spends a lot of time when he's at Sandringham, possibly in the week, in Wood Farm, and I've got a video about that to come out. But he also goes to Windsor at the weekends to be with his wife. And obviously the Queen tries to come up to Sandringham as much as possible. And it's said that she's really, really missing his company, but she's really happy with his retirement, and his retirement has her full blessing. So that's the way it is. That's, you know, they are kind of leading separate lives, but it's all with the Queen's blessing. And of course, Prince Philip does deserve a retirement. I think anyone can deny him that. And he's also been photographed at Windsor today, I think it was, in fact, carriage driving. So he's got a very active retirement, and I think it was always going to be that way. Jamie says, I find the fact it's not public sad. It's like they both mutually know this will very likely be their last big jubilee. Dawn has to refresh. First Mrs. R says, there are some lovely coins being issued by the Royal Mint. Well, that's good. Candice says, did you ever find the original flavoured Lipsol? No. I found an old one I got in a drawer. That's about it. So I'm living off the reserves of a very old Lipsol. Please, Lipsol, if you're watching, please take out the SPF. It leaves a horrible taste in your mouth, and you have no options on your range, across the entire range, for non-SPF. I know SPF's good, but it tastes disgusting. In fact, I've switched brand now because I hate the taste of the SPF. Vinny says, I think it's sad at this time that in their lives, Her Majesty and Prince Philip are spending so much time apart now, which is also why it's very important that the younger royals step up and take on more duties so that the Queen can spend longer weekends with Philip or longer at Sandringham. Betsy says, I sent you a very early Christmas present. Don't open till December the 1st. Well, thank you. I will be looking out for that one. Thank you so much. I really will be looking out for that. I wonder what it is. I'm really excited. I'm really pleased I've got this PO box because it's really good, because you guys can send me stuff, anything that you want, you know, cards, letters. And I still haven't received a letter, like a pen friend type letter. That would be really cool too. James Medford says, the new royal baby, I still feel good. You think it'll be a girl and the baby will be here sooner rather than later. Well, we know it's April, but we don't know the date in April. Joyce says, USA checking in, nice to meet you. Oh, by the way, the time difference, our clocks went back last week, so I'm really pleased that you guys made the time difference for wherever you are. HW says, the secret to a long marriage is separate houses and bedrooms. I think bedrooms too. OGA says, hi all, I'm not sure why last week was cancelled, but glad we're all back here. I had a personal tragedy, so that's why it was cancelled last week. Freya says, Mr. Hammond told me that the Queen is a significant presence who knows how to hold her own, feeling powerful and in charge when she speaks to you, which is kind of what I'd expect, really. HW says, all men need a man cave to be put in. It makes them so much happier. Well, there you go. Prince Philip's man cave is an entire house on an estate. Classed as a farm or a cottage, but it's a big property. Tim says, I made it. Hello to Tim. Caroline says, I wonder if the decision for a private family celebration for the 70th is for the Duke's health. I don't think so. I just think they don't want the fuss. They really do. Jen says, Harry can't marry his cousin, and that's the revelation that if you go back far enough, I think it's like 18 generations or something, that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle do share a common family ancestor, which makes them cousins 18 times removed or 26 times, something like that. Very, very, very distant relations. Angel says, hi Elliot, happy birthday for you. It's not my birthday. It was my birthday in August, but as we're on the subject of birthdays, I thought I'd like to reveal a card, a very special card. I know I'm not showing you the correct size, but a very special lady, shall we say, made this for me for my birthday and sent me a photograph of it, but this was before I had my PO box address. And that very special lady is Dawn. And she's an amazing crafter. If you guys don't know, she's an amazing crafter with cards and scrapbooks and all kinds of things. Anyway, she made me a birthday card and she couldn't send it to me because I didn't have my PO box address. But as soon as I did, she sent me the card and it's absolutely amazing. Can you guys see? It's got a crown and some sparkles and it just looks really professional. And she wrote me a lovely message inside. So I've actually put this up in my living room on my fire. So it's going to sit there for a few days because I didn't get the benefit of having it for my birthday. but I'm certainly going to enjoy it now. So I'm just going to pop it over here so you guys can see it. So that's really special. And another reason why I just love having this PO Box address. And if the trial with the PO Box goes well, I might even decide to keep it. Now, I was saying that Dawn's an amazing crafter. She also made me the family order bow, and I've got a whole collection of them. She sent not just one bow, she sent a whole load of bows in pink and white and blue and yellow, all the different pastel colours which the royals use for their family orders. I've got them in different bow shapes. So over the coming weeks, I'll be wearing a lot of my collection of royal replica brooches or family order type ones with these bows. So look out for a new bow every week. And thank you so much to Dawn for making them and sending them to me. It really is special. And I think they just work really well. And she copied the design of them amazingly. So yes, so thank you so much. The first Mrs. R says your clocks go back to night. What time is it in the UK? It is 18 minutes past 10 currently. HW says, how are my furry children? You miss seeing Rory and Molly. They're in the house. I've kept them in because of the fireworks going off. We have lots of fireworks outside, so if you hear any pops, I'm not in a war zone. I am in Shropshire, but it's all the fireworks, so I've kept them in. Rory has been milling around. You may see him in the background sometimes. Vinny says, lovely flowers, thank you so much. Those ones are new and real. Jamie says, a very special lady indeed, and that's Dawn. David Penn says, is Sarah Ferguson dating? I thought she might be back with Randy Andy. Who knows? She kind of keeps that kind of a life kind of obscure. I mean, she's often seen with men, but we don't know whether she's dating them or not. I think lots of us do think that she's kind of with Prince Andrew, and almost like they never really split up. But of course, we can't say for certain until anything official is announced or said. Then we can only speculate. We really can't. Will Dawson says, what's my favourite thing about Meghan? My favourite thing about Meghan is her tenacity. It's her drive. It's the fact that she's pulled herself up by her bootstraps. She's gone and, she's got educated. She's got a degree. She's, made it in the TV and in the TV world, entertainment world. She's gone and done her charity work. She's followed her dreams. She's got tenacity. And I think that's my favourite thing about Meghan. Betsy says, word on the street is, on the Meghan front, is that one of her things will be women's empowerment. Well, I think that's definitely will be one of her strengths when she, well, if she comes to the royal family. Yes, I think she will definitely do lots for women's empowerment. And you may have seen cats whiz by. I certainly heard them at the side of me. Candice says, what a gorgeous card. Freya says, that's a beautiful card. I wish you were that crafty. First Mrs. R says, it's beautiful. I'm more thumbs, so it's very impressive that someone can make something like that. James Medford says, the Queen should be accompanied by a member of the royal family. The public would love it if she would have company. Sophie Wessex, for example. First Mrs. R says, Guy Fawkes Day. Well, it's actually the 5th of November, so it's tomorrow. But most people in the UK celebrate it on the Saturday. That's around the 5th. So tonight is the big major kind of bonfire night. There are some celebrations next weekend too. Freya says, tomorrow my friend is having a burning at their house in the country. Let's hope they don't burn the house. Jamie says, at least the fireworks will scare away that beastly creature. If you guys saw last week, after the, well, not last week, the week before, after the live chat, I posted a video about a very beastly creature. And it's actually a true story. So for my live comedies sketches, I do draw from real life inspiration. So that did actually happen to me. So if you want to see that video, please go and check it out. Carolyn says, good night from Ontario in Canada. Banal says, I like the fact that Meghan is very involved in charity work. That's my favourite thing about her. Now, before I forget, let's talk Queen's outfits. Now, we know that from the week before, we said, ooh, I wonder if she's watching. Let's see if she'll wear aquamarine or something aqua blue. And she did. Then the last live chat, Jamie made a very specific comment about which outfit to wear, and she wore it. And I'd like to try the experiment again. I still haven't seen her in pumpkin. So Your Majesty, if you're watching, I would still like to see you in pumpkin. But let's think outfit or a specific brooch or jewel that you'd like to see the Queen wear, and let's see if she wears it. So let's try our experiment for the 3rd time. Let's try it. Lady Buckingham, Dawn says, okay, think I'm back, but lots of troubles with YouTube. Oh no, you weren't here when I was telling everyone about your card and I was explaining about the bows. Oh no. Okay, you need to go back and watch this after the live chat, because I did a whole thing on the fact that you're very crafty with cards and the bows. So please do go back and watch the bit that you missed. Oh no. HW says, Meghan Markle does have drive and determination. She puts her sights on something and she goes after it. She's also a social climbing cousin. She has Tudor tendencies, but off with her head. Let's hope she won't have 6 husbands. Vinny says, what do you think about Prince William getting all the flack about talking about too many people on the planet while having a 3rd child? Notice you didn't do a video on that speech. I did do a video on the speech. I couldn't find footage of the actual speech, but I did include the photographs and the fact that they were talking about the world population. So I did do a video on it. I just didn't title it about it. It's in there with the video about that engagement. So let me guess. So your question was, what do I think about him getting all the flack? Well, yes, you're right. I mean, you can't talk about world population and then keep having child after child after child. People won't respect you if you do that. But I don't think that's kind of what he was saying. I think it was more an overview that the world is growing at an alarming rate. And in lots of countries, you know, family sizes are kind of like what they used to be maybe, you know, 150, 200 years ago, where, you know, it's kind of common in some places for people to be having, you know, 8, 9, 10 children. And I think what they kind of mean by the world population exploding is that kind of population growth. We know that from what happened with China, you know, a one-child policy isn't sustainable. That was reversed. So we know that, you know, what going down to one child isn't sustainable. So I think 2, 3, 4 children is kind of still within those limits. I think they were talking more about the huge families of like 8, 9, 10 kind of children that isn't kind of, you know, exploding the population. And yes, I did cover that speech. Lady Buckingham says, okay, I will watch, thanks. Elaine says, Meghan is already good at public speaking. She is indeed, she's had lots of practice. Freya says that was a really beautiful card. HW says, making a Tudor joke, you have to be a history buff to appreciate that comment. I do most certainly appreciate Tudor history. It was one of my favourite subjects at school, and I've read lots of Tudor history books. So any suggestions on the Queen's outfit? Okay, Angel says, I like the colour red or plum. James Medford says plum is nice on the Queen. Elaine says, you think William and Catherine will go for a 4th child? In fact, I do too. I think they may definitely go for a 4th. HW says, will Dawson do not attack fellow chatters? I hope no one's attacking anybody. Jamie says, it was mutually agreed that your designs are impeccable and you are a very special lady. It was indeed. Please go and watch it. And you see it in the background. Well, I showed it to everyone because it's so fantastic. Elaine says, that way, share out the pressure, not just an air and despair. Angel says, in Oregon, time will be 2 a.m. Betsy says, yes, you think it's poor, overcrowded countries. First Mrs. R says, Lady Buckingham, you are so very talented. Your card is lovely. Well, I have to agree wholeheartedly. Okay, lots of people liking plum. Plum or purple on the Queen. Okay, shall we go with plum? Okay, so Your Majesty, or Angela Kelly, if you're watching, we need to see you in plum over the next week for some kind of prominent event or engagement. Plum, plum, plum. Let's see if our experiment works. HW says, lovely job on the card. Nina says, I love her in white and blue. Yes, but we are going to stick with plum. Okay, Jamie says, I said red, red, red. Can't think of a particular one, but the one she used visiting Williams Air Base a few years back comes to mind. I'm going out on a limb here saying the Grima Ruby. Have I said that right? What's a Grima Ruby? Or is that a typo? Okay, so Angela Kelly, if you're watching, if you've still got the one where the red outfit you used while visiting Williams Air Base a few years ago, dig that one out. Or something in plum. So you've got two options, Your Majesty. You've got the red one from Williams Air Base, or you've got something in plum. Joe Bob says, here in Shanghai. Well, we are international tonight, Shanghai. Hello to everyone in Shanghai. It's Sunday and it's 6:28 a.m. Oh my goodness. I'm across all different time zones. HW says, Will Dawson is sharpening his grinder teeth. Well, who knows what grinder is? Nina Shrub says, zebra. You want her in zebra? Okay. Elaine says, powder pink with plum accessories. First Mrs. R says, if William and Catherine have 4 children, that will take the pressure off public life for them when they become elderly, and George will have plenty of help. It will indeed. And if you want to be that far forward planning, then it would be a good idea to have 4. James Medford says, with Kate's extreme illness during pregnancy, the couple must really want children. They really do, because she's done it 3 times now. Her Majesty the Queen, or Jamie, says, Grima Ruby, think I'm spelling it right, it's one of her brooches. Oh, I've not heard of that one. Okay, I'm not sure. The Grima Ruby, I will Google it later and check. If it's one that she's worn before, I've probably seen it, but maybe I don't know the name of that one. But I'll be checking out Grima Ruby. Grima Rubee, for those that are watching on catch up. Okay, Moon Mom, hello to you, says hello to me and everyone. So glad to catch up with you on the live chat finally. You've missed a couple of weeks. Well, so have I. I missed a few too. Well, I missed one. Will Dawson says, I keep my teeth dull. Okay. Dull teeth is the way forwards. Jen's agreeing with plum. Lady Buckingham says, there is an outfit that she wore I absolutely love. Don't laugh. Don't know how to describe it, but it's baby blue with a white hat that almost looks porcelain. Wasn't that the one she wore for the Jubilee, for the last Jubilee? And it had almost like a doily lace around the hat. I think that's the one. Vinnie Blair says, I like William and Catherine, but I think 4 kids would be a bit of a self-indulgence considering the public already complaining about being work shy. Kind of let them eat the cake. Angel says, hear you, Queen Elizabeth. She's talks to people online chat with me. Well, if she is here, give me a sign. Okay. If you're somebody who's here on behalf of the Queen, or if you are a royal, give me a little sign. I don't know what. Just give me a little sign. Candice says, I'm hoping that Zara and Mike will be able to expand their family one day. Me too. Jamie says, 4 would be great. An extra child benefit. Let's not go to that way. Joyce says, can an illegitimate child of a monarch be an heir? If it was the only line and it was decided by the government that child would be the heir, rather than going back up the line, then technically, I suppose there's nothing stopping it as long as it was sanctioned by the government. Joe Bob says, I think plum is a nice fall colour, but burnt orange is more beautiful. Well, I did want pumpkin. I did definitely want pumpkin. Susan's heard that Prince Harry is back in America. Well, we'll have to wait for photographic proof. Jen says, I see Rory. Where's he gone? He's been scamping around. I don't know. I just see legs and tails whizzing by. They want to go outside, but they can't because of all the fireworks. Lady Buckingham says, yes, that's the blue outfit I absolutely love. It does look rather special. Okay, Elaine says, the Queen, in my opinion, has been the best dressed I've seen her in the last few years. Did she change hairs? Did she change her stylist? No, she's had Angela Kelly now for a number of years. She's an in-house fashion designer and jewellery curator. So no, she's not had a new stylist. HW says, you had a Rory sighting. There you go. Oh no, Susan said, Prince Harry's back from America. Yes, because he was in Chicago. Okay, now your comment makes sense. James Medford says, is there a book or documentary on Angela Kelly, also the Canadian Snowflake? Yes, there's an Angela Kelly book about the Queen's outfits. It's available on Amazon, and I think it's internationally available. So just type in Angela Kelly, and it's called Dressing the Queen. And I really hope we see the Canadian Snowflake brooch soon. I'm hoping it's worn for the Christmas message. That would be so special. Candice says, I love to see Her Majesty wearing gold. She looks so beautiful in that colour. I like gold too, and she wore a really amazing gold, kind of shiny dress for the 2012 Jubilee. Betsy says, loved seeing Harry at the Obama Foundation Summit. And this was the inaugural one. And it actually caused quite a bit of controversy. Lots of people in the comments of that video were quite anti Prince Harry being involved with the Obamas. Personally, I don't see a problem with it. You know, Prince Harry likes to help out where he can. And we know that he's quite friendly with the Obamas and has quite a good rapport with them. And so does Prince William. I just thought it was really lovely that he was helping out. And the video where he surprised the students was really special. Angel thinks that the new royal baby will be born on April the 26th, and you think the baby will be a girl. Okay. Right, I'm just checking something on my screen. Let me just see. Oh, okay. Right, never mind. I was just checking something out. It appears I can't do it while I'm here. Okay. I will have to check something out later, ready for next week. Okay, I know. Let's open the box. Who wants to know what's in the box? This is Jamie's box, otherwise known as Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth. And if you want to know what's in the box, please leave a comment really quickly because I really want to open it. And the first Mrs. R says, we need to start keeping track of all the dates and predictions for the royal birth. We do indeed. Maybe we could have a sweepstakes. Lady Buckingham says, I have asked for a royal family book for my birthday. I should have asked for the Angela Kelly book. Oh, it's amazing. You really should get it. Okay, Nina's saying, let's see the present. Hello to Ingrid. And James Medford says, let's discuss a moderator. That's basically what I just checked out. And it's telling me that I need to do something, but I can't do it until after the chat. So I'll be setting that up ready for next week. Okay, Lady Buckingham says, me, what's in the box? Vinnie Blair says, I saw a YouTube video of Prince Harry in Shropshire 3 years ago, walking with the wounded. Lovely countryside, you're lucky. We do have amazing countryside. Okay, I am going to open the box. I can't wait any longer. So I pre-opened a corner, just in case I was faffing around with it. Ooh, okay. Wow. I can see gold paper, gold kind of tissue paper. I feel like I want to open it flat. Okay, let's see. So if I open it, I think I need to open this end as well. Okay, let's see. I want it to kind of open on itself. Aha, there we go. Okay, I'd like to be like this now. Oh, okay, it's opened. Wow! Oh, I can see. Oops, I just flipped my bag. There we go. I can see a royal standard staring at me. I'll show you in a minute. Wow. Okay, I have got a message. It says, love and support always, from Jamie. P.S. God save the Queen. There we go. Wow. And I've got a royal standard in the box. I'm going to show you guys what I can see. Look. Okay, right, I can't wait any longer. I've got to open it. So, I'm lifting the tissue. And it is, just as I thought, is it Buckingham Palace tissue? I think it is Buckingham Palace tissue. I might keep that to wrap my Christmas decorations in, actually. Oh my goodness! I can see lots of things. Okay, this really is like Christmas. I love my P.O. box address. This is amazing. Okay, let's start with some fine milk chocolate. Let me see what this is from. Is this from one of the royal shops? Let's have a look. It's made in Britain, and it's historic royal palaces. Wow. I love chocolate. This is so cool. I'm going to put all my things over here. Wow. Okay. What should I do next? Okay, this one. What's this? It's a little box. I'm going to see. Okay. Oh, it's a box of fluff. No, it's not a box of fluff. It's a box of fluff. Why have I got a box of fluff? I have got a box of fluff. What kind of fluff is it? Why have I got a box of fluff? Look, it's a box of fluff. Okay, I don't know why I've got a box of fluff. Francesca says, hi Annette, how are you doing today? I would love to see red on the Queen. Jamie says, I put the back box in by accident. I love my box of fluff. I'm going to keep my box of fluff. Look at the fluff. I love my box of fluff. Okay, I'm keeping the box of fluff. Oh, what's this? It's a Buckingham Palace bag. Look. And this was obviously from Jamie's recent trip to London, to Buckingham Palace. Wow. So I've got a lovely bag. And in fact, I might use that for my Christmas decorations too. See, I always have a use for these things. There is also a Fortnum and Mason bag. There we go. And in fact, I really want to visit Fortnum and Mason. I want to get some of their tea. Jamie says he's dying with laughter. Nina says lots of laughter at Fluff. Lady Bingham says it's the snow that I wanted. And Francesca says I love your new haircut. Will Dawson says I love the royal standard in the box. The details are super cool. Jen says I love your laugh. Okay, I still haven't finished. There's still some things in here. I'm going to open the little bag that I can see in a minute. There is also, oh, okay, there's some leaflets. There is a Tower of London information leaflet. I don't know if you guys can see. There's some information on the Tower of London. I did go there on my last trip to London, and I would highly recommend it. It is a really good trip. There is a map and information. It looks like Kensington Palace, and it includes, oh, actually, this is really interesting. It's got a map of some of the layout, and it's got about the different apartments within there. So we've got the stone hall, the map key. Oh, it's really good. I like this actually. This is really cool. I will spend some time reading this. And it says about the Diana fashion story. So that's a good one. Thank you so much. We've got some postcards. Look. This is a procession of the Garter Knights approaching George's Chapel for the Garter service in Windsor, and it's from the 2015 event. Wow. You know what? I love these. These are really cool. Thank you so much. Oh, there's another one. This is a postcard of an aerial view of Windsor Castle from the north, and this was taken in 2015, and it's amazing. Look. Do you know what? I really do love I do love the castle. It's so special, and it's I think it's the largest occupied castle in the world. It's just fantastic. I really love this. I am actually going to put them up somewhere. And we have a Diana. Look. Wow. And doesn't she look amazing? I'm going to hold it up. Doesn't she look absolutely amazing? And this is from Kensington Palace too. And it's one of her. What is that in the outfit she wore for the Swan Lake premiere? It's amazing. I love it. Thank you so much. I need to put them up somewhere. And there is a member events guide 2017 with lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of information, which I will be reading later. Thank you so much. Now, there's also a bag. Look, I'm going to read some more comments. Betsy says, Fluff is so funny. Will Dawson says, I'm just imagining Oprah saying, you've got a box of fluff. You've got a box of fluff. I did give you, yes, I got a box of fluff. Nina says, I love the maps. James Medford says, can we get your postal box address? The address is on my main information page on the YouTube channel. And it's also in the description of every single video I've made since having the box. So if you check out the description of this video when it goes live after the chat, you will find the PO box address. So shall I open what's in here? Francesca says, open the box, open the box. Freya says, moral of the story, make sure Jamie gets you Secret Santa. Vanal says, what a great box of treasures. Elliot's treasure box of happiness and joy. Elaine says, I adore the picture of Diana. And Joe Bob says, what a beautiful picture of Diana. Okay, I'm going to open. Ooh. Ooh. I can hear a little jingle jangle. Okay. It's my enemy, sellotape. Okay, my enemy is sellotape. Look, I came prepared. What is this? That tape is made of, I don't know, you can mend submarines with that tape. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh my goodness. Look. It's a sparkling brooch. And it's all like iridescent colours. Can you see it sparkle? Wow. It's all sparkly and iridescent. It will look amazing. Oh, wow, thank you so much. You really didn't need to go to all this trouble. It's amazing, look. And it's better than a box of fluff. Wow. I'm just going to pin it up so I don't prick myself. Wow. Oh my God, then there's another one. It's a little pearl box of grapes. Little pearl brooch of grapes, rather. Wow. Oh my God, these are amazing. Thank you so much. Wow. These are really amazing presents. Thank you. This iridescent one is lovely. I do love this one. Okay, you want a close up? Can you see? Elaine says you're taking too long. There we go. Wow. Thank you so much. These are amazing. I'm going to just put the box down very gently because I opened it and I've got all things everywhere. So I'm going to lower this to the floor very gently. Let's pop it. Actually, it can sit on the side. There we go. And what I'm going to do is this little box of fluff. I'm going to put the box of fluff there. That can be a little box of fluff. I do love the box of fluff. MSMB says it's 18 times removed for Harry and Meghan. I was close. Will Dawson says, real talk. How does my hair defy gravity? You know what? It takes a lot to get it up in the mornings. But I manage it well. I always start with a nice big bouncy blow, which gets all the air into it. Of course, you have to make sure it's clean as well. So cleaned every day, a nice big bouncy blow. And then, like I say, you know, it does take a lot to get it up in the mornings, including when it gets longer. It's even harder when it gets longer. So I use gel and then a yellow can of really hard hairspray, which kind of just fixes it into position. But it does manage to keep up all day, and it never goes down all day. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, Ingrid says, when was the last time you were in London? It was only last month was the last time I was in London, when I visited the Houses of Parliament, but just the Houses of Parliament. Lady Buckingham says, beautiful. Jamie says, that's the one that you said I'd like more. It's so sparkly. In fact, it's really iridescent. I love it. Freya says, great gift, Jamie. And Nina says, lovely. Paul Akuka says, somebody tell that man he's making noise. Or put your fingers in your ear. Ingrid says, Francesca says, Ingrid, you're from Sweden, question mark. Betsy says, beautiful brooches. The first Mrs. R says, the round brooch reminds me of one of the tiaras, but I can't remember which one. I'll have a look later and see if I can figure it out. Elaine says, I'm only teasing with you, all as to the excitement and anticipation. Jamie says, that fluff is making me shiver. I've laughed so much. I love the box of fluff. They're all going to be sending me boxes of fluff now. Angel says, Queen Elizabeth, she is talking with people online in chat. And no, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth is Jamie. But hopefully the real Queen is watching, I hope. Will Dawson says, really, I always have it up in the mornings. Well, sometimes it's a struggle. HW says, Will Dawson, you are out of your element. Freya says, oh no, that's awful. Betsy says, the fluff is now an important part of the background. Fluff and beavers. And there's lots of talk of beavers in the media. There's something going on with beavers. Jamie says, I was trying to figure out which box to put the brooches in. The fluff was a candidate. He must have wanted to see you. I love the fluff. Let's just say the shirt is everything tonight. Thank you so much. HW says, Jamie, great job with your gift box. And Will Dawson says, who's your favourite of the Queen's cousins? You're going with Prince Michael. I do like Prince Michael of Kent. I like his beard. He looks very much like George V. And I really like his wife, the Princess Michael of Kent. I do love the Princess Michael. So I would probably agree with you and say Prince Michael and wife, Princess Michael of Kent. I think I could have a really good chit chat with her. I've not drunk my tea. I need to drink my tea. James Medford says, is there still talk of Royal Christmas being moved to Windsor Castle? I've not heard that talk, and I don't think it sounds like it would be true. The Royals love their traditional family Christmas at Sandringham, and there's no real need to change it. Why would they change it to Windsor? They can just as easily go to Sandringham as they can go to Windsor for their Christmas break. So I don't think there will be a traditional change in what they usually do. So I think Sandringham will still be the it place to go for Christmas. So no, wherever you've heard that from, I don't think that's true. Ingrid says, beautiful brooch, who was that from? It was from Jamie, otherwise known as Queen Elizabeth II in chat. And Jamie says he couldn't resist the royal standard. It was a lovely finishing touch. I love the gift box. In fact, I've decided I like opening surprise boxes. I really do. I need more surprise boxes. I love them. I did well not opening it as well either. I resisted. Lady Buckingham says, what's the latest on Princess Michael's book? Is there much to report on that? Well, I've not had much chance to read it. I've been very busy with when I went back to work and all the stuff that's been going on personally, so I've not had much time to read it. The bits I have read, I have kind of dipped into it, and it is a really insightful book into her love of cheetahs and protecting cheetahs in the wild, and she has many different stories to tell. And I really do think it's a worthwhile read because it's not a fiction book. It's her real life experiences, so I would recommend it. And as soon as I've read some more of it, enough to give you a proper review, I will do. James Medford, you thought it was because of guest rooms. Well, let's not forget the Windsor Castle, being a fully working castle, is quite occupied. There's lots of staff, and lots of the accommodation is taken up at Windsor. So I wouldn't have thought that there would be a change from Sandringham. Sandringham also has lots of houses and cottages on the estate where family can stay, including the Wood Farm. So I don't see a change, but we will see. We will wait and see. But I don't think that's true. Oh dear says there is always something going on with beavers. They close the Trans-Canada Highway with great regularity each year by flooding a portion, stopping all the traffic. Naughty beavers. Those beavers deserve a spank. They are very naughty beavers. Angel says, this is a grandma way. My grandma passed your grandma Crawford. H.W. says, let's all send me show and tell boxes. I would love show and tell boxes. I really would. I would save them up and open them for you all to see. Susan says, I love the work Prince Harry's done with President Obama and what it's doing for the young generation. Freya says, whenever there's a large number attending Christmas, they hold it at Windsor. I don't think they've had it there since the 80s. Personally, I can't remember a time when they've had it at Windsor. As far as I'm aware, it's always been Sandringham. But we'll see. Let's wait and see. Although I don't, like I said, I don't see a reason for the change. Jamie says that the raving back streets of Mayfair is also by the Princess Michael of Kent. She has written quite a few books as well as this Cheetah's Tale one. She has written lots of books, so she has got you know, a back catalogue of books. So you know, there's plenty for people to choose from if you want to get into her literature. Elaine says, is it true Prince Philip's staying at Sandringham? We did speak about it briefly, and I have got a video coming out soon where he's spending a lot more time at Sandringham in the week. He's still going for weekends with the Queen at Windsor, but he's been spending a lot of time at Wood Farm, which is a big house on the Sandringham estate. Will Dawson says, I should run for Parliament. I would love to. And Paul says, why are you much concerned about me? Ingrid says, yes, you're poor Swedish but live in California now. James Bedford says, is Wood Farm the house that Prince John's youngest child of Queen Mary lived in during his short life? In the video that I've made, I've given a little bit of background information on Wood Farm. So I will be publishing that after this live chat. So bear with on that one, and all will be revealed. Vinny says, Royal Reviewer, what's the latest with the renovations at Kensington Palace? You read that apartment 1 was being renovated for Prince Harry and the Gloucesters would be out. You had said his mum's apartment was being renovated for him. There's nothing official been announced about the Gloucesters, so I would discount that for a start. What we do know is that an application was put in to build staff offices in an underground basement extension under the Orangery. That would move a lot of the staff offices out of the Kensington Palace apartments, such as Diana's old apartment, which would free it up as apartments for royal use. So the thinking was, the theory was, that Diana's old apartments, which was split into 2 following her death, could be re-merged back into 1, and could be made available for Harry and possibly Meghan. But of course, this will all take time. I'm not quite even sure whether the plans for the Orangery have been approved yet. It could still be going through planning. This will take a number of years to complete. So I don't think there will be any change yet. I mean, obviously, if a currently occupied apartment like the Gloucesters was to come up in the meantime, of course, that could change the whole thing, and that could be considered. But there's no plans with the Gloucesters or the Prince Michael of Kent's home or any other occupied apartment at Kensington Palace. So we'll just have to wait and see. It's one of those where you just have to wait. Candice says, good grief. I thought you said protecting cheaters, but you actually said protecting cheetahs. I did. Not cheaters, cheetahs. Cheater, cheetah. Okay, Joe Bob says, I agree with you about Prince Harry and the former President and Mrs. Obama working with the youth and potential future endeavours. Paul says, by the way, who is that Elliot man? It's me. Justin Lagrange says, keep hearing rumours that Queen Elizabeth is planning on stepping down. There's been rumours, but no, she's not planning on stepping down soon, although there will continue to be the gradual handover of royal duties to the younger generation. Jamie says, my video just won't load. Anyone else? Ingrid says, I'm watching this very interesting mini-series about the history of the Windsors. I didn't know the name Windsor wasn't around until 1917. Yes, it was created after the war to disassociate the royal family with anything German. And it was considered a very British name, a very solid name, and that's why it was chosen to be the new royal house name. Freya says, I wouldn't be opposed to running for Parliament one day. It's a great platform. And you'd love to be an MP with me. I would love to be an MP. Oh no, lots of people having a few technical troubles. First Mrs. R says, did I see the TV special about the Queen's wedding? I recorded it, so I'm going to watch it very, very soon. MSNB says, yes, they are cousins, 18 times removed. That is ridiculous for you to say. Candice says, first cousins shouldn't marry. Other than that, you believe it's legally and socially acceptable. I don't think there'll be any trouble with 18 times removed. You have to go back a very, very, very long way to find a common ancestor. Ingrid says, do you think little trinket boxes of Diana and Charles's pictures are worth any money? It depends how many were made and how many are still in existence. So if it was something mass produced, then the chances are it's not worth much. But if you've got something specifically, have a look on eBay, see if someone's got something similar, and then you'll be able to judge roughly how much it's worth. Betsy says, any news on Pippa these days? She's been cited a few times just going about her normal everyday business in London, going to the gym, for example, riding her bike, but nothing new and exciting, I would say. Elaine's wondering if Pippa is expecting. Well, I mean, they are a newly married couple, so a baby could be on the cards. Okay, let me just check my notes to see if anything has been missed today. Oh yes, Charles and Camilla's Asian tour. How could I forget it? They've been on an 11-day, which sounds a really exhausting amount of time to spend on a tour when it's full of engagements every single day. But they're on this tour. They look really happy, and they're doing lots of different things. So I'm trying to post a video daily about what they're getting up to on the tour. So do keep checking those out, because there's some really good photographs coming back from Charles and Camilla's Asian Tour 2017. And other than that, I have actually spoken about everything that I wanted to. Okay. On Monday, we have the Duke of Cambridge, who will be at a Skillforce UK Gala. So that will be very, very good. Oh, by the way, it's Prince Charles's 69th birthday on the 14th of November. So maybe we'll get an official portrait for that. Or maybe he'll wait for the 70th to get an official portrait. Will says, how's the Queen of Denmark's husband? Well, they haven't really spoken too much about his health, really. Betsy said Camilla looked nice on the tour. And lots of discussions in the chat room about cousins and whether it's okay to marry cousins. You know, personally, I think if it's a close cousin, as in a first cousin or even a second cousin, that's probably not a good idea. I mean, even on let's forget a moral level, probably on a genetic level, it's not good. But I think going back 18 generations, 18 times removed, is probably okay. Angel says, good night, Queen Elizabeth. Good night, Queen Elizabeth. HW says, Candice, you are very correct about that. That's why it's important to know your lineage. Easy to do in this day and age. Well, lots of people are doing their I can't say the word tonight. Lots of people are doing their genealogy and tracing their family lines back as far as the records go for your family. It can be done. Candice says, I've been friends with another girl guide leader here for years, and we found out a couple of weeks ago that you're cousins. Wow, that would be amazing to find that your friend is actually a relative. The first Mrs. R says, aren't the Queen and Prince Philip second cousins? Queen Victoria is their common ancestor. Yes, that was the link that they had. And yes, Camilla is older than Charles. Justin says, when Charles becomes king, how will Camilla become queen since she's so unpopular? Well, that's just it. It doesn't go on popularity. It goes on law, and it's law in the UK that the wife of a king, an anointed king, is a queen consort. So therefore, when Charles becomes king, Camilla will become queen consort. Freya says, Elizabeth and Philip are third cousins descended from Queen Victoria and second cousins once removed from King Christian the Ninth of Denmark. And yes, I agree with Melody, who doesn't think that cousins 18 times removed risk genetic defects. My name is Jeff says, I love Meghan Markle and Harry. I do too. I think they're a fantastic couple. Now, I think I'm going to end tonight's chat here. I hope you've all had a really good time in the chat. I will be back next week at 10 o'clock UK time, that's GMT. So if your clocks change, then please work out the time difference. You can do it quite easily by typing it into Google. So I hope you've all had a fantastic week. I hope you're going to have an amazing week to come. Thank you so much to Jamie for the surprise box. Thank you to Dawn for the amazing card and the amazing brooch badges, or bows, shall we say, box bows, I'm going to call them. Dawn says she hopes an announcement's coming soon with Harry and Meghan. I think we all can agree with that. So thank you so much to everyone for coming, and I hope to see you all next week. So from me in Shropshire, goodbye.